Hello, my name is Christopher Bollyn. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about exposing the 9/11 cover-up, an ongoing crime in real time. Peter Dale Scott, the author of The War Conspiracy, JFK, 9/11, and the Deep Politics of War, said this: I should make clear that with respect to 9/11, I have certain knowledge of only one fact, that there has been and continues to be a massive cover-up. It's true. The 9/11 cover-up began on day one and is an ongoing crime, a continuation of the 9/11 crime in real time. Although the 9/11 cover-up is 18 years old, it is so seldom discussed in the media that many people do not even know it exists. It is important to understand who's behind the cover-up, because it reveals the nature of the 9/11 crime and the criminal network behind it. It is essential to understand that we can identify the people behind the cover-up, and that this is the easiest way to identify the nature of the network behind the crime itself. As President Nixon said about Watergate, it's not the crime that kills you, it's the cover-up. As awful as the 9/11 terror atrocity was, the cover-up is worse because it means that our government and media are actively engaged in suppressing the truth and protecting the lies about the crime that brought us the war on terror, the longest and most expensive war in U.S. history. It should be clear that the ongoing 9/11 cover-up only benefits the criminal network behind the terror atrocity itself. The cover-up is actually the focus and the essence of my research because it exposes the crime and the network behind it. My investigation of 9/11 began with my realization that a massive cover-up began on day one in order to protect the false narrative that was designed to take us into the global war on terror. From the very beginning, the cover-up was both obvious and revealing. For the culprits, the 9/11 cover-up needs to be maintained, but it can only survive as long as it is supported by the government and the media. The 9/11 crime would have been solved very quickly if the mainstream media had exposed the cover-up rather than participating in it. The media cover-up is proof that the mass media is controlled by one cohesive group that is supporting the 9/11 cover-up. It also reveals that the pro-Trump, anti-Trump tug-of-war between Fox News and CNN is a scripted game being played on us. Both Fox News and CNN actively suppress 9/11 truth, which is what really matters to the owners of the media. Both Fox News and CNN are part of the 9/11 cover-up. Neither is on the side of the people or on the side of truth. The method of the cover-up is both active and passive. It is active when action is taken to suppress the truth, for example, by destroying the evidence. It is passive when they simply omit any discussion of the evidence, which is more common. The media pretends that the 9/11 cover-up does not really exist. But there is ample evidence, readily available, that the cover-up is very real. It can be seen by the crucial evidence that is never discussed by the mass media. For example, there is abundant evidence of explosives and explosions that accompanied the destruction of the World Trade Center. There is also solid evidence of molten iron and other metals that were produced during the demolition of the Twin Towers. Because this evidence disproves the official story of what supposedly happened to the towers, it is never mentioned by the media. Then there's the evidence of Israeli prior knowledge of the attacks. The Israel-based Odigo instant messages, for example, that warned of the attacks hours ahead of time, and the 5 dancing Israelis who were seen celebrating and making photos and videos across the Hudson River as the towers were attacked. These subjects, like many other aspects of 9/11, are never discussed in the mainstream media. Likewise, the government reports about the destruction of the World Trade Center towers fail to mention the most crucial evidence. The NIST report, for example, from 2005, omitted any discussion of the evidence of explosives and molten metal seen before and after the demolition of the towers. The cover-up by the government and media cannot be dismissed as simply a matter of ignorance. The cover-up is willful and requires action every day to be maintained. It is in fact complicity in the 9/11 crime. Evidently, all members of Congress and the media got the memo and are forced to obey the diktat that they will not address 9/11 truth. They all know that to mention 9/11 truth is to touch the fatal third rail. But why is it so? Who gave the media moguls the power to censor the truth of 9/11? The controlled media is the main entity behind suppressing 9/11 truth and keeping the public in the dark about what really happened. The owners of the media, men like Rupert Murdoch of Fox News, and the financiers behind them, need to be held accountable for their key role in maintaining the 9/11 cover-up and presenting a false story to the public in order to trick the nation into war. Thank you.